Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily coming at you. We're going to have a good show today. I am awake. I had just crazy allergies today, and I took a Benadryl. I was knocked out. That stuff will literally knock you out for hours. So got up about an hour ago after taking a nap and feel great. Feel clear-headed. And I was just so excited after watching the Starship take off. If you guys understand and have been following the Starship developments down in Boca Chica, puro pinche 956 a la verga, because that is being built in the 956.
Puro pinche 956 a la
huge
verga.
accomplishment. And what I was thinking about the most is not Elon Musk, not SpaceX, not anybody, not NASA. What I was thinking about the most is the millwrights, the electricians, the welders, that blue collar guy that saw the launch from a couple of miles away with his lunchbox, and he has his hard hat on, and he looks at that freaking ship take off, and he goes, I was part of building that. I was there. I welded the panels. I poured the concrete. I installed the flaps. I run the crane. I weld. I run wire. I fix the pumps. Those are the people I was thinking about the most today, and I'm super proud of them specifically because without blue collar guys like that, you literally have nothing. So today we're going to talk about parts manufacturers. Are they responsible for any issues that arise when they want you to R&D a part? Now, the reason I'd say that is because in the industry, a lot of parts manufacturers want to sell products. So what they do is they give people parts for free and say, test this on your car. But the problem is this. Once you're at a certain level, you can't just give a guy a part, have him test it on his 2,000 horsepower vehicle. And if issues come up, you are not liable. And at a lower level, let's say drive shaft. Let's say you give a guy a drive shaft. You as the company made it a certain length, the flanges, made them fit a certain flange, meaning Mustang, Camaro, whatever, Dodge. But you, the company that made that part, never put it in a vehicle, never did dyno testing, never did RPM testing, never did anything. And you rely on the aftermarket guys like race car guys to test it for you. So if there's an issue, a lot of these companies just skate. Oh, it looks like it blew up. We don't know why. Wait a minute. I Alejandro Flores, cannot afford, like if the GT500 ever has an issue again, it is for sale. There is no freaking way on God's green earth I am going to stick another $10,000, $20,000 into that car. Well, that's race car stuff. I get it, but I'm just not going to do that. But I couldn't imagine someone that races as a hobby, or let's just say as a business, and you get given something that isn't vetted by the company. They make the part based on the spec, and they test it on their static dyno or whatever, but it's not actually in a vehicle that they own, that runs a number so that you can prove out the part. So we'll talk about it a little bit on today's YDBT Daily. And as always, we do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
And as always, I really want to thank the sponsors, the people that keep the disco ball rolling. That's right. We got Two Auto Solution, The Parts Farm. Two Auto Solution again, Rami Zaidan. He's the man. I love him. Still waiting for a cold air from Greg, so we'll see what happens there. Kong Performance. We'll see what we want to do. Look, Kong, I'll make my own cold air. I just want to make sure, I am pushing the product properly. If you got something, if not, I can make something work. Parts Farm. PartsFarm.com. Parts Farm has GT500s, Camaros, Mustangs, interiors, you name it, they got it. Cranking pallets, they got it there. DNA High Performance, DNAHighPerformance.com. He will fight you in a race. That's right. He will fight you. We know what we're talking about. Doma Got Cookies, DomaGotCookies.com. DomaGotCookies_LLC on Instagram. Ultimate Headers, Jim Browning. Congrats to Chris Joyner, who got the clamps delivered to him. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS, offering HPX sensors, mid-range HPX sensors, and other bullshit. Love you, Nick James. And Calamar Transmission, CalamarTransmission.com. I was very happy to see that the modern tuning software does have provisions to be able to make the gear ratio changes on Ben Calamar Transmission equipped 21 and up Mustangs. And I was afraid it wouldn't be there, but luckily Junior found out that it was. So let's say hi to the people. We'll talk about it. Does a company that make a part, should they be liable if anything goes wrong with their part on your car? Bryson Winters did it. 1Slow50, Nitrous and Bias Plies, Coyote Fury, OEM Spec, Ale, Al Husani, Mod Motor Ray, Javi 50, Omar X, D-Rock Fox, That Black, GT500, Johnny Boy, OEM Spec, Josh Roy, Giovanni Sanchez, Diego Flores. We got Franklin Smith, Ignacio Ramirez, JD Swag. I'm going to get you your shirt out ASAP. Peter Chiquito, Rocco Zioli, I'm Hung Solo, Andrew Slots, Cluster BM. And hey, Jared Wells, what's up, brother? Nice seeing you here, man. Anthony Modlist, Brian03, Angel Porrico, LS Swaps are gay, says evening, everyone. Paul Ponthieu twice. Franklin, Ronnie I don't know what the hell that. Edrinis Nabadi. Jesus Christ. Prime time. SK Productions, working till 10, dropping a like, tuning later. Call of Duty Pookie Ups. Joaquin Velasquez. Infamous S550, Bondo Bird, Joaquin again, Chris Anderson, Cortese, TJ Sikorsky, Modless, Timo, J. Bruce. If it's not chopping like a motherfucker, it ain't worth shit. Mike H. in the house, B. Lavesh, Emmanuel Saad, Desmond Scrungler, Rican 50, Abel, Brian Brown, Alfredo Diaz, Infamous S550, Tony Dominguez, SN95 Frush, Brian Harper, 6-Speed Racing, 427 Dudes, Supreme Media, Pure Trash, Matt 760, Carlos, Mark, and Carlos LTX, an evil horse. So the reason I say that is this. So I don't want to say I'm talking, let's say in the race car game, there have been really nice sweetheart deals that have popped up. And I'll give you an example of a sweetheart deal that I would take in a heartbeat. I know someone in the Mustang game that got given a power adder, and I think they were given $30,000 so that they can campaign that vehicle that year with that person's power adder so they can go to NMRA, World Cup, make as many races as you can, and they had a contract that stated as such. Subsequently, they didn't really make many races. Things happen, whatever. But I think that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. If, let's say someone was to approach me and say, hey, Alex, we like your GT500. We want you to race it. We will pay you $30,000 this year to cover gas, expenses, potential parts breakages, but we want you to put our banner on your car, and this money goes towards the racing program. If you do not meet this criteria, meaning if you don't go to World Cup, if you don't qualify, if you don't go to NMRA, whatever the fuck, excuse me, then you probably have to pay $15,000 of it back, or something in the verbiage in the contract that makes it super enticing to go out and race. And someone like me would go, yeah, let's go racing, boys. If someone says, Alex, your stick shift GT500, we think we want to sponsor it, and we want you to plaster this sticker off on the side, and we'll pay you this much per year to run it with our sticker on the side, just like the real deal, because this is the problem. Let's say I have a suspension company's parts on my car. They don't work all that well, but they want me, not me specifically, let's say a racer, but let's just say me, to give that part validity, give that part props, give that part, the blue check mark to say, hey, these parts run good because Alex runs it, and his car gets down, and they say, we want you to run our parts and our sticker. And by the way, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to keep giving you parts. And let's just say you run that suspension part, and it's just not doing what you want it to do. The valving is not right. It's not separating properly. Their settings aren't working. Eventually, you're going to say, I have to stop embarrassing myself out there and win races. And you will put in whatever part works, but still say you are sponsored by that manufacturer. Do you know how many times that happens, guys? Where a company is given a part, you think they're running that part, but because they want to start winning again, they run a completely different part that they know works, but tell you they're running that part. It happens a lot. So if someone comes up to me and let's say has a power adder, let's say a nitrous company says, Alex, your Fox is great. We think it's cool and old school. And you don't have to do anything crazy. Just slap our sticker on your shit. Let's say NOS. Slap our sticker on your shit, and here's $4,000. And if you can make 4 events this year, that'd be awesome. You don't think I'd go out there in the Fox, shove a nitrous kit in it, and race, and whatever happens, happens? Because it's such a kind of a slowish car that I put a 150 shot on it. Let's say Zex or Nitrous Express or Nitrous, what's it? Nitrous Outlet. Let's say they would go, hey, Alex, we want to give you an atomizer kit. Here's a up to 300 shot, whatever, single plate kit. We want you to go to every stick shift event there is and run our nitrous kit. Okay. No, and you're going to give me $4,000? Yep. Okay. But the big boys, the guys that are big turbo cars, big supercharged cars, and like really high end cars, those deals don't get given to them. Those guys come out of pocket. And what happens is the company goes, here's a part. Thanks. Put a sticker on it. Hey, this part doesn't work that well. Well, here's another part. No, you don't get it. This part might ruin my engine. This part might ruin my trans. This part might ruin my trans and subsequently take out my engine. Are you going to cover that? No? You're just going to give me a part that cost you less than $1,000 to make? And you're going to hope that my 2,000, 3,000 horsepower car running X275, whatever, you want me to represent your part and the sponsorship is free parts of that part? No, that's crazy to me. I think a lot of these manufacturers have it good right now. And I think a lot of racers should start going, we're going to run what works, because racers, out of anything, more than anything, they want to win. They don't care about, I want to push that part all the way. No, if the part works and you want to sponsor my stuff, that's different. But at the end of the day, they're not going to risk their $30,000 engine and $20,000 turbo 400 or power glide with whatever part that costs you nothing to make and potentially smoke your shit if you haven't done it on your vehicle. See, the reason Lund Racing does really well with customers and stuff is we own the vehicles we test on. Alec Bledsoe was actually surprised that we did that. He goes, what? You guys buy every combo you test? Yes. 2020 GT500, had it. 21 and up Mustang, Nardi had one. 19 manual, I had it. Gen 2, we have a Gen 2 in the house. Gen 3 Auto, we have a Gen 3 Auto in the house. Gen 2 Auto, we have a Gen 2 Auto in the house. Gen 1 Auto race with a Gen 2 control pack, we have one in the house. Swapped Coyote control system in a 4-valve Cobra twin turbo, got that. GT500 1314, got that. So, and I had a Coyote swap Fairmont 6R80 with a 4R200 hub. Like, you want to talk about vetting? You want to talk about everything vetted to death? There is no company, I don't think, that exists, period, that vets the file as much as Lund Racing does and has the crazy variety of combinations in-house. Now, I don't have to buy these vehicles, but I do it for me. I wanted to learn as much as possible on my 19, and I would tune it every day for like a month or two just to learn stuff. And then if Junior wanted to try something, I'd see the changes. We'd collaborate. It was great. The Fairmont, dude, the fact that it went 8.7 first time out was 100% due to Jake and Junior vetting everything and the control pack and everything being well. Now, I had fuel delivery issues with that car the whole life. It was kind of built hodgepodge, but it ran 8.7 hodgepodge. I'm not going to ever say it had more left in it. It's just kind of a heavy Fox. So I think parts companies have to either pony up some dough or make some kind of contract that if something gets smoked or blows up and hurts other things, they better pay up. This free part game and go race it is crazy in my more humble of opinions. So we'll talk about that. I know you guys think it's a lot of liability and stuff, but guys, if you're coming out of pocket $100,000+ to build a car and someone gives you, nuts and bolts, right? Lug nuts. Someone gives you super badass lug nuts, lightweight titanium badass lug nuts, and then bitches fucking come apart and your car hits the wall and the cause was the lug nuts. I'd be hitting them up for some money. Fuck all that. So, Kami commenter, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm really having a lot of thoughts about this dark horse in a serious fashion. So, I'm 45 years old, and I've been through the Fox body era, and to this day, there has not been a better era than the Fox body era.
To this day,
To this day.
to this day.
Because I was like 18 years old and I had my notch back. So then the 96, 98 two-valve stuff came out. And it was slow. And if you were into the new car stuff, you were getting donkey stomped by anything Chevy. Sorry. Back then, Camaros were killing new Mustangs 96 to 98. So Fox bodies were still king of the hill. So then 99 and up 260 horsepower two valves came out, and they were still getting jacked up by Chevy stuff. So imagine living through that whole era, and Fox body is still super relevant all the way up to the Terminator. And even past the Terminator, if you wanted to build something fast, it was still the Fox body because of the weight and the small block Ford. I get it. 500 horse, shit explodes. But the aftermarket was so robust. There were dart blocks, there were A4 blocks, there was S trims, there was Y trims, this and that. And you go to Fun Ford Weekend, who do you go watch? The Fox bodies lay it down in every class. Outlaw, Renegade, True Street. The Fox bodies were laying everything down. 96 to 98, dud. 99 to 04, dud. 03, 04 Cobra, pretty quick for what it was. And they started actually making gains into the Camaro dominance back then. So then the Cobra killed off the Camaro. The 3-valve came into play, and we went backwards. So imagine you lived through that era. You lived through the Fox body, 2-valve, Terminator era, and you go, all right, here we go. We can only go up from here. And then they come out with a 3-valve. And you suffer for 4 more years. And you guys go, fuck a 3-valve. I'm just going to get a Terminator because these 3-valves are slow. Then the Coyote comes out. And that has been the centerpiece of Ford performance everywhere. People were Coyote swapping Fox bodies. People were Coyote swapping 2-valves. People were Coyote swapping everything because that became king. Now that was a racing culture. Ford was out there giving you racing culture. Let's go fast. Let's perform. GT500 came out. 07. Oh yeah, now we got some big boy power. Ford GT came out. 05, I think. Oh yeah, big boy stuff. And then you have the late model stuff, which is S550, King Daddy Gen 2, period. That's King Daddy. Right now, if you are a guy in his 30s and you were 18 when the S550 Gen 2 came out, you still think Gen 2 is daddy. And I would agree with you. I would agree with you. So you go, I'm not buying a Gen 3 with the ticking and the 10R80. I'm sticking with a Gen 2, just like I thought about Fox body. Now, the dark horse is not race oriented. The 04 GT and up, 2024 GT and up, racing isn't even a thing. It is a drift stick and revving on a key fob. Revving on a key fob is what they're promoting it as. Not performance, not anything great. They keep saying the same thing. Most powerful Coyote ever. The Dark Horse makes the same horsepower as a tuned cold air and ported manifold GT from previous generations. It is not that impressive. And once tuners really know, have a eagle eye about stuff, they look at the Dark Horse's MAF stuff and the dual throttle bodies and all this crap, and you're like, this looks like an anti-tampering device. It doesn't look like it makes any more power. It looks like an anti-tampering device. Because why does their race car stuff have one cold air? Like, think about it, guys. If dual throttle bodies and dual cold airs is such an advantage, why don't they put it on their GT3 stuff and their race car only stuff? their race car only stuff does not have DI. As far as I know. I'd have to go look because I haven't physically seen a GT3 style race car. People on the chat that are into that stuff, let me know. Is their infrastructure of the new GT3 style race car, you know, like whatever class, SCCA stuff, is that Gen 2 based or does it have DI? So then you got to start thinking, well, if Ford uses non-DI engines in their race car program, why the fuck should I ever hook up a DI car? Why should I spend a dime on a car that has DI if Ford doesn't do that? We'll talk about it, you know, but the culture around the 24 and up Mustang is clout culture. It's clout culture. Center exhaust, weird paint jobs, drift stick, revving on a key fob. Gen 2 was go 10s with a GT, go 11s with an EcoBoost, go 12 with a GT NA. Actually, 11s with a GT NA, 10s with a supercharged GT, and I think 12s with an EcoBoost. I think that was their selling point. So why would I even look at that platform anymore? Culturally, it is not what racers or people that are prioritize performance are looking for. So Ford's lost their way. And that's why I say I don't support any of the new stuff. I'll give you another example. Based on software limitations, listen to me, guys. Based on software limitations on 21 and up cars, you might not even be able to run a single turbo setup unless you put the O2s in a common pipe. Listen to those words. If you run a single turbo setup on certain things, these are rumors now. 21 and up, because again, 2020 and under is daddy for access. You might have to run two O2s in the same pipe for reasons. I'm just gonna say for reasons. It's so crazy to me. Dual throttle body is better for nitrous distribution. Throttle plate kit, stop it. They didn't use DI in the GT500 either. Right. Why is the most powerful Coyote variant they currently offer, which is Predator motor, why doesn't it have DI?
I know that I could beat him on the street because I'm most street.
Why doesn't the GT500 have DI? The most powerful Coyote variant does not have DI. I wonder why that is. The S650 is made for slideshows. Oh, hell yeah, I made it. Dropping a like, says Jason Rivera, listening while delivering young Amazon packages. Interesting. The Bud Light beer can culture. I assume it's their race cars Gen 2 based like the GT350. Correct. Don't forget how they introduced the GT350R. Bro, GT350R intro Ford. Commercial. Let me see. Commercial. The problem is, no, it's so stupid. Like Google has the worst search engine when it comes to that. GT350 350R introduction commercial. Yeah, Shelby GT350R. This is how Ford Performance introduced the Shelby GT350R to the world. Not anymore. Let me see if I can find what they're trying to make you think about the car now, 2024. I'll find it later. But we already saw the drifting and the bullshit. It's drifting. It's drifting. So the culture has gone a completely different way. Tush did it in the house. What's up, brother? Michael Camacho says, because the GT500 is based on Gen 2, that's why no DI. No, you know, you're right. But no, what I'm saying is this, Michael Camacho. It is a Gen 2 Mustang. Let's be honest. The GT500 is a Gen 2 nose, Gen 2 everything. There's everything Gen 2. But the computer is Gen 3. It's 298, I think, B or whatever, based on the similar infrastructure that the 18 and up is, but no DI. That makes you wonder, why did Ford do that? Efficiency, not power. Now, Bledsoe with his LT stuff, he talks to me about LT. See, I don't think LS and LT stuff are the same thing based on the DI. Like LT, I go potential. But I still don't love the Camaro body. I still don't love any of that stuff. But I love the potential of the system. And the most powerful one is the ZR1. And that has DI and PI, just like Mustang. So at the end of the day, eventually you're going to have to go race car stuff at a certain level. Let's say under 1,000 horsepower. DI isn't that prevalent. Maybe in the Chevy world it is because it's controllable, but in the Ford world, nobody has gone all in on DI. It's just not that impressive when it comes to the control, the hardware. It's just not there. And the Coyote seems really sensitive when it comes to tuning DI stuff. And maybe the LT is more robust based on its engine design. Who knows? Like a Dodge commercial. This video made me buy a 350R. I can tell you exactly. One of the best debut ads ever. Maybe second is a 1314 GT500. Why bother with DI if it's getting hit with a gas guzzler? Text correct. And that's the problem. I think once fuel mileage doesn't matter, it goes out the window. So in my opinion, the new stuff, if you're a young guy, 35 and under, I think you agree with me that Gen 2 is still coveted like Fox bodies are coveted by me. Guys, out of all the cars, the one I enjoy driving the most is the Fox body. The Corvette is fast and I love it and it has its own charm, but the Fox body brings me back and it's fast. That's just the thing. It's fast. It's not slow for what it is. It's probably a low 11, high 10-second car. I got to get to the track. I don't know when the hell I'm going to do that. I have no idea. No time. But I should make an appointment to, to just go one Saturday and just do some testing. Well, what do they use Car and Driver to make videos? Seems to be early morning talk show. Like any headlights? You tuned for Lund, right? Yes. Oh my God. No, he tunes for fish sticks. Nice. BBC Tuning, YOLO Tuning, thought he tuned Turvey's car. I laughing my ass off. He's a lead tuner for B2 Riati Racing homies. Yeah, look, I tune for Lund Racing. I only tune for Lund Racing. You cannot contact me. Don't hit me up on Facebook. Don't hit me up on Instagram. I don't want to hear from you at all. If it's tuning related, if you're gonna somehow give me money for something, sure, hit me up. You know, but if you're a hot chick, sure, hit me up. But if you're just some dude that wants to chit chat, we do that through work. And by the way, it's getting really old that people hit up our tuners outside of the tuning queue. You're getting tuned by people. Stay in the system. I don't care that you're friends with him on Facebook. Don't talk to other tuners about tuning on Facebook. And I think that's why certain tuners have positive praise. Meanwhile, their tuning is subpar. That they're reachable through Facebook and Instagram. Well, my tuner hits me up on Facebook. I hit him up. He answers. Cool. That's not me, and that's not what Lund Racing does. So we, yet again, someone else hit up Lund on the backside saying that, you know, I'm not getting the service I want. And I'm like, I'm literally spitting out Lund Racing policy. My job is to spit out Lund Racing policy. Lund Racing does this. So when you hit up anyone else about complaining about me, you're complaining about Lund policy. I don't have a personal vendetta against you. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. There are certain people that stick in my head and I treat them a little better because I have a personal relationship with them. I have met them. I've shaken their hand at an auto show or trade show or race event. So those people stick. But they're not my friends. They're just people that I know. So please, when you go to complain, when you think it's okay to hit up another tuner on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and complain about something I'm telling you, remember, you're complaining about Lund policy. You're not complaining about me. You're complaining about Lund policy that I am telling you. I am informing you what Lund policy is. So if you complain to a Lund tuner about me, you're complaining about Lund policy, not Alex, because Alex doesn't give two shits who you are. I am literally telling you how we operate. But Alex, we could have been together. Think about it. Do you hit up your doctor outside of the clinic setting? Right. Could you imagine you hit up your doctor about something at 9 p.m. on Facebook? On Facebook. What kind of 60 foot do you expect off the Fox at the rental? 1.6 is, I'm happy. I'm happy with a 1.6 or a high 1.5 because it's on a drag radial and it's going to be tricky to launch it on a drag radial, but I'll do some practicing. Theoretically, Matt 760, if I left with a 2610 or 2810 bias ply like a Mickey Thompson, I think I could probably cut a 1.5 in it, but I don't know if it has C-clip eliminators or if it still has a C-clip axle, so I wouldn't launch it. I have to find out, get under it, and see if it has either 9-inch ends, which I don't think it does. Now, my Fairmont differential has 9-inch ends. It went 5/8 studs, so I might just go swippity swap one day if I figure out that it has a similar gear ratio and I want to actually launch it decent. The Fairmont is literally a Fox body. So all the badass suspension parts that are in the Fairmont can go in the Notch or vice versa. Honestly, what I should do is if I want the Fairmont running fairly soon, I should probably use the small block Ford and throw it in the Fairmont after I've done a decent amount of work. But then the Notch becomes, useless. So it's a sorted car. Just leave it alone. But Alex, my buddy Racing has the best customer service. And, that's fine. I'm more than happy that people are happy with their tuner if he hits you up on Instagram and Facebook. That's 100% fine. I am responsible. Guys, so Tune Delivery Network for HP tuners. That is a fairly new thing, right? That's a fairly new thing. Now, we used to do SET. Not anymore, but who knows what's going to happen with that. We used to do Engage and SET at the same time. And then SET dropped off, and now we picked up HP Tuners. And HP Tuners does a lot of RTD customers that log with a laptop. How many unique customers, meaning no duplicates, how many unique customers do you think Lund Racing has on the newest platform of tuning, which is TDN, Tune Delivery Network? Put on the chat a number, the number of customers that you think we have active on the Tune Delivery Network at Lund Racing. Coyote customers. Take a wild guess as to how many we have on the TDN network. Go. Because I got that number yesterday and I was mind blown. Did you ever find out any more info on FTW fuels? No, don't care. If I haven't heard anything over a year, nothing's happening. Why doesn't Ford pay Lund for making cars more efficient? I don't understand. Okay, they are not interested in racing. Ford Performance and Ford Racing is not interested in racing. They're just not. Because if they were, they would absolutely give us the red carpet treatment. But for whatever reason, they seem to have like a weird thought process about that. They have a weird thought process about that. So we have, the closest one was Chris Romero. We have 2,500 unique customers on the Tune Delivery Network. Think about that. Not Engage, not old SET guys. Just on HP Tuners, and that's not counting RTD HP Tuners customers. We have a lot of customers that simply log and load with a laptop, which to this day is still the best way to do it. So, it suffice to say that I don't really think I have time to hit you up on Instagram and Facebook about your specific situation when just alone on the Tune Delivery Network, we have 2,500 customers. Unique, no duplicates. And then all the other Engage customers, and then the leftover SCT guys that never got a revision and didn't go anywhere else, but they're probably waiting because what do you think would happen If tomorrow SCT said, hey guys, we're back. Mortimer, we're back. They flick a switch. We get X4s in the house. And now we support everything. It would be dumb. It would be so dumb. So I don't know why Ford doesn't roll out the red carpet to Lund Racing. Maybe they think that we're in direct competition with each other. No. Like Ford, be really smart. Who do you think is responsible for most of the aftermarket tuning on that platform? Lund. Like Lund. Are they not aware? Do they not know? Like I don't understand that nobody at Ford understands the amount of customer influence we have. Because let's say Ford puts out a part that we don't like. Do you think it's a good idea to have the company that is mostly responsible for tuning the vast majority of Coyote vehicles tell the customers that part's no good? And that goes to aftermarket manufacturers too. Like, guys, there were literally engine builders that disappeared from existence or relevance. Let's just say relevance. Once Lund stopped supporting their stuff, they were just poof, gone. You could almost see a graph of like, oh, Lund does not give them the blue check mark. Whoop, bye-bye. So I don't understand why someone like Ford does not come to us, and say, guys, we got to work with you. We will give you everything, all the files, exporting tools. We want you guys to take our stuff to the limit. By the way, here's a free car. Alex, that sounds stupid. Really? They gave VMP a free car twice to paint it and put it on SEMA, the $1 program, the $1 giveaway stuff. They got given a Focus and they got given a GT. And what they do, they splattered some paint on it. Meanwhile, if you were to say, Lund, here's a base GT 10R, base GT manual, and here are all the exporting tools, have a ball. Don't you think your product would look amazing, Ford? Don't you think your product, you will see us at the track every other weekend trying to make that thing roll out? You don't think that would be a super wise move by giving them access to everything and letting them have a ball? No, you guys don't even think about that because you don't understand that Lund is by far the most volume Coyote truck and Mustang tuner on the planet, and you just treat them as if they're persona non grata. I don't know what Ford I don't know what reasoning Ford has for that, but it's just bad business, in my opinion. Like, bad business. And that's okay. And yes, they hit up influencers that they know will give them positive praise. See, Ford never takes risks. And that's the problem with Ford. Like, I think Ford is remember old Ford before? Like, if you ever saw the movie, what's the movie with Matt Damon and Christian Bale, that Ford versus Ferrari? Ford was known as a boxy, junk, square body, piece of shit, make a regular passenger car having ass company, and they wanted to go racing. And they wanted to beat up on Ferrari. So they got what they thought was the best crew back in the day, Carroll Shelby and his guys, to say, here you go. Here's access to the motors. Here's access to the engineering. Here's access to the chassis shop. Here's access to everything we got. Beat Ferrari. And that movie does a good job of kind of showing what a manufacturer with a lot of capital could do if they played nice with the best in the aftermarket. Imagine if Ford gave that treatment to the Lunds. whatever. It's okay. It's okay. I think even though Lund has not gotten any of that kind of access, no access, I'm blown away that they're still by far the better calibrators of that platform, period. They would require Lund to sell out to be bureaucracy, right? It would become political. It would become stupid political crap. They took a big risk with the Lightning. The hell with LS and Coyote small block Fords are the hell with LS and Coyotes small block Fords are flying down the racetracks, and you're not. And you're not wrong. Sorry. But that's aftermarket. 100% aftermarket stuff with aftermarket, Holly or Fuel Tech or whatever. It has nothing to do with what Ford is doing right now. And Ford is trying to get into the performance market, and it's all race car oriented, non-street stuff. And the win on Sunday, sell on Monday stuff is gone. Because what are you winning on Sunday? The drift event? Stop it. Ford can't oppose the government now, exactly. Lund, tune proud for Ford notice. Lund is half bolted on, says Lund, tune proud for Ford to notice Lund. Why did you make the move from VMP to Lund? FJG? Money. I saw no future there in terms of money. Okay. So let's talk about having access to someone like me and not paying them based on my reach, based on my work ethic, because most of all, I work really hard. Ask Lund. Ask Lund what my tickets are like. Ask Lund the amount of volume I do. Ask Lund the quality of tunes that I put out there and customer service. Ask them. Don't ask me, ask them. And if they were to say, yeah, Alex sucks, I think there'd be a huge disconnect there. But let's say your company has access to a guy like me and you're paying him basically nothing. So I'm like, bro, I'm going to go broke here. So I started making videos in the middle of work because I'm like, there's no money. So I'll promote the company and I'll put it up on my YouTube channel. So it serves two things as one. And for a time, they were asking me, hey, Alex, tell us about YouTube analytics. Tell us how YouTube works. And I'm like, wait a minute, why? Well, we want to make our own YouTube channel. Well, okay, but I don't think your YouTube channel does as well as my YouTube channel promoting your stuff. So don't put the money towards a social media program and just let me promote your stuff on my channel. I make money, you get free advertising, and you don't have to carry the overhead of YouTube, media, cameras, just let me do it the way I've been doing it. Like, Lund doesn't need any push in terms of the social stuff because they have me. They post on Instagram. They have access to that. But if I ever wanted to say, this is what Lund is doing right now, and this is the best stuff ever, there isn't much better. That doesn't get much better than someone like me. So they didn't pay the kid. And I said, I got to get myself some money because I'm literally dying here. I'm literally making no money. They weren't paying the kid and they weren't willing to pay the kid. And based on history, the kid was never going to get paid. There was going to be no windfall. Guys, when I got my raise, I legit laughed my ass off. I think I came in there for 42. And then 3 months in, I'm showing them that I have this crazy reach. I'm actually tuning. Joe and I are killing it. Joe and I were probably responsible for most of the profit because Joe and Goodenough and I started working for Homeboy when we were in his garage. And in the middle of us killing it, a move to a bigger building happened and we still killed it there. And then, okay, we sat us down and he's like, hey, we're going to give you a $3,000 raise a year. I go, what? Excuse me? $3,000 raise a year? And at that point, I started looking. I started looking around. I said, I got to get out of here, bro. This is not working. I got to get out of here. And things happened all within like 3 months that Lund needed somebody and I needed money. And it all worked out. Hey, look, there's a lot of shit in the background that I haven't told you about. It'll come out one day, though. But, a lot of stuff happened before that. Alec, want to say hotels where you weren't outside when you opened the door. Right. You want to hear a story? That's not for me to say. Bro, there's some crazy shit that happened over there, bro. Crazy as shit. So VMP doesn't care about their employees? Says Rodrigo Aragon. I don't know. Lund Racing is smart. VMP still has things to learn. I mean, look, I think they have to play nice with the government because they manufacture parts. You understand? VMP manufactures parts. So they have to play nice with the government. And, you know, I don't think if you want to make money, I'm saying money, real money, I don't think a company like that is going to offer you real money. They'll offer you experience, but not real money. Like, the best thing that happened to that company was when Jimmy came on board. This guy named Jimmy, who was like a shop manager, bro, he was awesome. He put everything, you know, in a certain way, and then even he had to go. And I'm like, damn, if he's going, shit. Some people don't realize how much time and money he's put into this channel. They think, oh, I'll start a channel. It's easy. Then they run out of content and post here and there. Correct. How many times have you guys seen people start live streams? How many times have you guys seen YouTubers, Mustang YouTubers, sit down in front of a computer and try to answer questions and be relevant and be somewhat entertaining and give you awesome sound clips like this?
I'm not gay no more.
I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay.
You know how difficult that is to actually be funny, read comments, be on the money, have a personality? Like some people say, I don't like his personality. He's abrasive. No shit. It's entertaining, dickhead. You want me to be here and be your bro and just talk like cool stuff while I drink a beer? Shut the fuck up. Appreciate all your knowledge and share for free. Just ordered some long tubes and we'll be getting a tune update. I also go on to Summit Racing to grab SCT for Crank Wheeler and then shove it up HC Tuner's bumhole, says David Goodrich, not I. I'm just reading what he said. To this day, my brother is waiting for a revision from VMP. 2 years, no reply to this.
I know that I could beat him on the street because I'm most street.
To this day? Where's to this day?
This day.
You're going to be waiting for a revision to
To
this
this
day?
day.
Oh.
To this day.
Alex, you don't get enough credit for your thumbnails. VMP would live stream with less than 5 people watching at a table with his wife drinking a diet soda. I don't, look, whatever, you know, you got to understand. You have to make a show. Hey, if you're going to live stream out there, first of all, you got to have a personality. You got to have if you don't have a personality and are somewhat funny, nobody's going to watch you. Do you think people are going to watch you because you tune cars? How many of you saw let's be real. Have you been to the Cooper Baghetti page? He has a podcast channel. And the top 2 are Sam from Cletus's Freedom Factory stuff and me, some nobody Puerto Rican dumbass. Why? I have the gift of gab. I sat down with him and we chopped it up for 3 hours. I've never met the kid before. Chopped it up 3 hours. That takes a certain amount of skill and talent. And people think that, oh, Alex can do it. Well, I'm just going to play in front of the computer and talk about El Chapo. Like, motherfuckers give a shit. Stupid. Fuck out of here. I thought you needed to start a Mustang. I thought all you needed was to start a Mustang channel was your channel and a mic and a plaque in your teeth. If you want sugarcoating, you go woke. Life isn't sugarcoated. They were like 5 doing lives and Alex still here while the others for the win. Yeah, people just dropped off. Like people were doing this during a live. This is what I would see in a live stream. Hey, what's up, man? And they start reading. They're like, and then no one's asking them questions. They're like, so you guys got any questions? Okay, guys, any questions? Hey, asshole, talk about something. Like, make it up as you go along, stupid. Come on, guys. You guys got to have better questions than that. Like, when I see certain YouTubers do a live stream, I'm like, that's going to be cringe-worthy. I can't wait to see that shit. Channel support, not much, says Marquise. Phil Fast says, at what point should you consider swapping axles on a Gen 1 and axles would you recommend for... Okay. Gen 1, I went 10-1, stick, stock axles. Donnie went 9-1. Auto stock axles. So technically, they're pretty good for a long time. Twin 60s or VMP Twin 69, CJ65 from Ford Racing. Cheese Whiz has more personality than, oh my God, stop it. Look, I'm not going to hear. Okay, that's what he said, not what I said. I'm just saying live streaming requires personality, requires content, requires you to have proper sound clips that make sense because you can't go in there
I've not been able to produce
and just like expect to wing it and you got to be funny and topical.
And we say bye-bye.
And you can't be one of these guys that just sits there and thinks that your tuning knowledge or your cars that are pretty is going to translate to a live stream. No way. B Lightning says, what's up, brother? El Chapo. Right. Well, you guys got any questions about El Chapo? Shut the fuck up. I only saw your podcast on Cooper. That's it. And I've tried to watch the others and they're pretty tough. Interviewing and being able to carry conversation is a skill most people don't have. How many of you didn't know Alec Bledsoe from a hole in the wall and listened to the interview, which went on for almost 2 hours, and were like, I learned a lot. And then he was like willing to come on live. And the reason I agreed to is because he has a personality, he has some knowledge, and he's able to talk in a way that I think the audience would love. And you guys asked him LTLS related questions and he was on the money. He is my LTLS source. I was always wanting a guy that had a lot of knowledge in the LSLT platform. And I finally found a guy that not only has the time, but understands he has the gift of gab and knows how to communicate with people. I bet a few lives pop up over the next few days because you just gave them some tips. It's the rear end that's a problem. Correct. The real issue with S197 rear ends is the diff itself. Whipple has access. Whipple has access because Whipple has connections and they have connections with Ford. They play nice. We don't get any of that stuff. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine Whipple has access because they make a supercharger other than a tuning company, because without that tuning company, that supercharger doesn't perform. Sorry. You can't make a carb compliant E85 tune. Can't. You can't make a carb compliant ID 1700 tune. You can't. With 150 millimeter cold air. You can't. We can. Not carb compliant necessarily, but race car stuff? Like, you can't go to Whipple and go, hey, what's up, Whipple? I'd like ID 1700s, Whipple 150 MAF, Whipple 150 throttle body in my 89 notch with a Gen 2 control pack. They'd go, yeah, no, bye. One was not knowing Alec Bledsoe. Gotcha. Am I better off buying the ultimate stop the hop kit or just getting the middle of tier enthusiast? Honestly, I would get the stop the hop kit, not even mess around. Alex, even though he's young, is very knowledgeable. I'm not that young. Pookie's your daddy. Who's Pookie? If he started a chat, I would watch for sure. Why? I actually like the Alec One Great interview. Alec doesn't offer support for the most popular Gen 3 LS, though. No, I think his platform is LT mostly. I think he said, do you know how many LS tuners are out there? Do you know how many LS tuners are out there, dude? Hey, Alex, I recently sold my Gen 2 and got a Gen 3, and I'm wondering if my old Engage can be married to my new car. Yes, if it has unlocks left. Joe. So, go to lundracing.com, send in a photo of the tuning status screen, and Nardi or Devin will grab it and say, yes, it can be unlocked, or no, it can't be unlocked. Got to weld the tubes as well. See some stories saying Dodge is investing billions into alternative fuels for Hemis. It's exciting if it's true. It doesn't. Shit don't matter. It don't matter. Alternative fuels are as far away as the Starship is from landing on the moon. Actually, the Starship landing on the moon will happen before alternative fuels become a thing. Bet me 5 years. The Starship will land on the moon within 5 years. Alternative fuels will not be a thing in 5 years. Peter Castrojones likes to self-snitch and says, I have a 1090 with cat delete T85 ported manifold. Do you think I should go boost or continue the FBO route? I don't think you should ever go the FBO route. This is what I think you should do if you have a bone stock Mustang. You put E85 in it and maybe free flowing exhaust. And After that, boost. Boost. Cobra Jet? No. Ported? No. Big Cold Air? No. Boost. Whipple, I've been dealing with Ford for a long time. Ed Badillo was there with his personal Terminator on our first date. That was March 2006. Yes, but what I'm saying is this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy spamming the chat. Wow. JD got him. Jesus. JD with the sniper. Yeah. JD wasn't fucking around. JD was like, try me, motherfucker. I'm outside. That's right. We are outside with our curry chicken, tikka masala, paneer. Get him, JD. Boy, he stuck out that blick and got rid of that motherfucker. The Starship will land on the moon before I get a whistleblower. He had his government name and talked about no cats. Motor Coyote says, is FP Twin 65 really worth the price on a CJ Steeda 135 closed lid over GT 500? Yes. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it over the Twin 60 for sure. I can tune LS. Beep, boop, beep. Slam the laptop. 4 minutes of cranking later. Damn, that spam was gone fast. Yeah, JD wasn't about that noise. He's like, blow, I got it on. I got it on me. Oh, wait. You want to come in here and fuck up the chat? I got it on me, son. The blick in the one in the chamber, ready to go. One in the, I racked it. Man, you don't fuck around. Need to be quicker, bro. Also on the whatever. What type of force induction would you go in a Coyote Swap F100? Says Midnight. TVS. A Roush 2.3 liter, guys, is the best setup to get. A Gen 2 TVS, meaning things that came in a 15 to 17 Coyote. They did have a Gen 1 TVS on their Roush Stage 3 S197s, but the inlet was super choked and small. So Gen 2 with a removable elbow, that's the daddy in my opinion. Do I just message Q for long tube add tune? Yes. Just not long tube. Okay. Let's talk about what long tubes don't need a revision. Let's be honest. What a long tube header does to a Mustang is increase airflow at high RPMs. The MAF sensor compensates for that. Now you're going to say, but Alex, the O2s moved down a little bit and I removed my cats. Well, in the modern tuning era, we can't do anything if you removed your cats. Understand this. Thanks to Ford, you can have PO420 and PO430 codes and the car will perform fine. There is no tune to be had when you install long tubes. It flows more air. The MAF sensor picks up the added airflow because it's scaled that way and it makes more power. That's it. But we want to see data logs to make sure that O2 is and O2 is not out. And by the way, put your rear O2s in, please. Please install your rear O2s. Stop deleting your rear O2s. You need them nowadays. You need them. Put them in, plug them in. But Alex, I removed my cats. It doesn't matter. Shut up. Put them in. Thank you. JD sniping people like Koreans in Compton riots. Alex, what do you think? You gotta love that shit. That was good, Nat Jew. That's good shit. I'll be your staff from Barry. I thought that rocket today was a 4L60 the way it blew up going to second. Now, again, shout out to SpaceX and all the people. The fact that it made it through max dynamic pressure, meaning it broke the sound barrier and it was still in one piece. What made it go awry was the hydraulic control unit, the HPU, the hydraulic power unit. The hydraulic power unit controls the gimbaling of the Raptors that steer the rocket. Once the hydraulic power unit blew up, because you could see engines just shutting off. The hydraulic power unit blew up. The moment the hydraulic power unit blew up, the rocket now had no steering. And it went, oh, and they had to blow it up in the air so it wouldn't cause an issue and land somewhere in Cuba. It's PO420 day. Put your cats back in. The self-snitchers. PO420 day. Hey, you get a CEL, just throw some duct tape on it. I have a phase 2 Rouse. Thank you for recommending the throttle body. I added a fan and an intercooler and a bigger water pump. Should I go with the 1050X or FIC 1200s? 1050X for that combo or FIC 1000H not the 1200s, because the tuning is better on the 1000s. All right, guys, thank you very much. Again, today we talked about parts companies thinking that they can give you a 700 or 800 or a small part and thinking that you're going to be their R&D. I think they should have skin in the game and give you money if shit goes bad. Number 2, paying a guy to promote your parts is the smart thing to do. And if you want someone to go racing for that year, NMRA, NMCA, World Cup, whatever, I think you should pay him. Call me crazy. He's going out there to wreck his equipment for your $1,000 parts? No. We need skin in the game. The more people do that, I think the better, but obviously they're not willing to do that. Then we talked SpaceX stuff. We talked about best gen Coyote. We talked about Ford not coming to the table with the best tuning company on the Ford platform. It blows my mind. We talked about the amount of volume we had. Blows my mind. They don't even look at that stuff. Talked about Alec Bledsoe a little bit, and then we talked about some racing stuff on the Fox body. So I wanted to get you guys caught up on everything. So I'm going to be on Sunday. Sunday we'll do shirt giveaways again. I already got the other 2 shipped for the people that won it last time. I got JD's swag shirt coming, so he wanted a shirt, not a hat. So we can do that on Tuesday. If you want a shirt instead of a hat, we can make that happen. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will be back on the dating channel. Yes, Eliza's S550. I'll be back on the dating channel in about 15 minutes. So if you're a fan or a subscriber or follower of the dating channel, stay tuned. We'll talk some shit for a little bit about dating. And for the rest of you, I will see you Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m., to talk to the pores. Have a good rest of your night. See you guys later. Happy 420. Bye.